So I'll make this play. Make this play out. It's been 2 years since I jumped back into For Honor. I'll turn on the Vellum thereafter. To me, For Honor is one of the best melee type games. Not so great when you're using controller, more better when you're using PC or a mouse. And for this one, I'm playing casually, so I'm using a controller. But I'll let this intro movie play out because I've never seen it. Takes about 1 full minute for this intro screen to turn into like a short movie cut screen. So I'll see. This is the year 5 of this game.
We have endured. We have suffered. Yet our resolve has not faltered. Now the gods have spoken, tearing the skies. They want to remind us of our rage to live, of our will to conquer, of our dauntless hearts pounding louder. We are but tears of blood, flowing in a raging sea. But let us not pray the gods for mercy. Let them watch us. Let them hear us. Let them bear witness to us as we harness the storm and embrace their fury.
Alright, so the whole point of this game is to see how far the game has progressed since year 3. Now, I never purchased anything from year 3 because why would you? You could earn everything in this game except for certain things that you have to purchase if you want them, like characters and stuff. Now, the game doesn't force you to at the same time, but when you want something specific, you might have to purchase. Um, in all honesty, when I first played the game, it was an extreme grind for us. If you want specific weapons, if you want specific loadouts, or setup in weapons and shields and so on and so forth, or emotes, these things cost steel, and this is one of those few games that are so ridiculously grindy with the time period where you could collect steel that it really takes your time away from playing other games. And that's one of the faults of this game, that it takes your time away from other games because they don't want you to play any other games other than their games. And that's why Ubisoft is not considered one of the best video game companies for me, because they don't give a shit about anyone else, and why would they? But at the same time, you don't make your game so grindy that it's a painstaking chore for everyone else that eventually people get tired of it and then come back to it every now and again. But my feelings upon Ubisoft is the same as everyone's feelings upon Ubisoft. And, if they go out of business, I don't think anyone would care. If they stay in business, I don't think anyone would care either. And they're not like they're not like Digital Extreme, or they're not like a lower budget or a more indie company, not lower budget, but a more indie company like say Rebellion. They're not like they're not definitely not like the people that the Disney and the Star Wars franchise, and but they're kind of around that same marker. And when you get the higher corporates to be the type that want more money and how they can get more money, if they know people aren't going to pay for it, they make their game more grindy in order to achieve such things. So if they can't get you to pay for it, they'll get you to spend a lot of time in it. Thus, investing amount of time and make money off that type of capital than the actual purchase capital. So that type of stuff is a turn off to any gamer. And if they want to do something like that, then to entice people to keep playing who don't want to play, who don't want to pay money, they have to make the game appealing for those people who do want to play in the game and earn things steady flow and grinding all the way from the beginning to whatever level they want the character to be, and at the same time still make it look fun and interesting for those people, and give them hope that they could build up on what they're trying to build up on for their character. And I say hope as in not in the terms that the word hope is used for in a good sense, but hope as in at least you try to balance it off to a point that consistent for where people who do play a lot for a very long time would stay in your game rather than say, fuck this game, I'm out, fuck Ubisoft, I'm out. And a lot of people do that. So For Honor is one of the few successful games that they've made, and this game has tons of bugs. I think this game still has bugs even to this day. Not as much as it did in the past, and their system, uh, their main parent system that they were using back then, might still be the same one, or who knows, maybe they change it up. But I believe there are only about probably 4 or 5 people working on this game right now to update it. Maybe less than that, probably like 2 people on hand, and I could say every 6 months, or yeah, about maybe every 6 months, those 2 people who are working, 2 or 3 people are working on it, bring out something every 6 months. And even though seasons change and they just tacked on something to armor or something, I believe that's every 6 months. Then they throw in something a little bit more. And they keep the people who interested in these types of games interested and keep making that and giving them work to do to make money in these games so they could keep making money off their old games as well as their new games, if people are still interested and willing to pay, and which they do, but they don't keep a lot of people on hand. So that was my opinion on the old For Honor when it first came out for the first 2 years. And coming towards year three, I think I might have dropped off from it. So when it comes to evaluating this game from a standpoint from everything from the artwork to the shields, to the swords, to the gleaming, to the drop shadows, to the lighting, to the armor types, to the artwork, to the environment, to the feel of the environment, to the animation sets of attack, to the impact, to everything else. I'll try to see if I could get that done today, but because the last couple of For Honor videos I remember I did a while back using Kenson or someone else, were simply for builds. This is more like an evaluation and my final thoughts on For Honor. My first thoughts and final thoughts on For Honor. I already gave my thoughts originally for this game, but this will be my first and final thoughts for this game. I probably won't do these ever again, so I'm gonna randomly do casual missions, and I purchased certain characters from last year, the year I missed, and this year, also the year I missed. And I think it was 3 years before I was in the game. And I purchased the year 3 pass because that is the latest pass for this game that originally came out. Now it's on sale for I think about 70%. I got off, and that's the only reason why I got the pass. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it at all. And that past year, 1 pass, year 2 pass, year 3. Year 3 is the last pass that they have for this game. They haven't created any passes thereafter. They've just been creating battle pass. Year 4 battle pass, year 5 battle pass, and with per each season that passed, because everything in For Honor, each season that goes by, a new faction wins. Vikings wins, Samurai wins, or Knights wins, and each season that goes by, the developers add on something extra. So it's not like each year a new pass is created, because year three pass was I think 2 years ago, back in 2020. No, not in 2020. Back in 2019. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in early 2020, like really early in 2020. But the year three pass, no, it was 2019 because we're on the year five pass. This is the fifth year, and uh, year three, no, yeah, we're on year five, and the pass was the year three pass. Now I'm not exactly sure the the passes go, and and if the battle passes is synced with the year five, because the year five battle pass might is something that follows the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and fifth year. And the battle pass really became something, I think, within the year three, uh, during year three. There weren't battle passes before in year one and two. So I'm assuming that year three pass came out the exact same year that the first battle pass came out. But yeah, I think that's how it is. It stopped the year three passes stopped once the battle passes started. I guess they couldn't do that anymore. The year one pass, the year two pass, and at the year three pass they stopped. And from there on forward they start doing battle passes. So that was probably in 2000. Well, this is the fifth year. This is 2021. And 2020, 2019, 2018, and 2017. Piranha came out as probably early 2016 or early 2017. So I was on for probably like 2018. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and we're in the fifth year. Yeah, it had to be a 17. Okay, so it's 17 and 18. I missed 17. I was in 18 and 19. So yeah, Free Pass came out probably at the end, almost the end of 2019, going to 2020. Or they probably have it set up for both 2019 and 20. And that's the last time I played For Honor was in 2019, or maybe it was in early 2020. I don't even remember anymore. It was such a long time ago that even if it was in 2020, it didn't feel like at all like it was 2020, but more like it was 2019. So that's how this game sometimes makes you feel. You get upset at it, you come back, and then you check out things that have been going on from there on forth. So I'm going to see how the game has progressed forward since 2 years ago when it comes to environmental art or anything. And maybe they've set up the steel that you could acquire steel far much easier without having to spend a lot of money, without getting boosting experience points, and maybe something good will come out of it. Maybe the interface is better than it was before. Maybe everything else set up from 2 years ago, which was during year three pass, is better now. But we'll see. I'm gonna play some random missions, multiplayer missions, and then as I go along, if I say anything with regards to the game is something that really knocks me out of the game and don't make me want to play it again, or something that will keep grabbing me to come back even more. So if no good improvements have come since the last time I was on Thrawn, it's pretty much same old, same old. But I think the improvement of the art would probably be the best thing, and probably that's it. Maybe the music as well, and maybe some animation, attack sets and defensive were slightly tweaked, but I highly doubt it. I think the most thing that has changed was probably the use of color, the use of sound, and the use of the 3D modeling to make it look more crisp, and use of shuffling around certain interactive menus. That's probably about the only thing that's improved with this game. Three things. I think the attack stance and behavior of each character probably going to behave the same. And I think selection menus and everything are probably going to be the same. And movement speed, running, and the ridiculous running of the character, if you look at them from side, I think that's going to be the same too. I believe most things are going to be the same, and probably two or three things are going to be different. Is that good enough to say this game is actually improved? No, I would say it's slight improvement, a snail's improvement. I wouldn't say it was good enough, but if I'm wrong and there are lots of great improvements since this new battle pass came up and new campaigns come out and new type of interactions, animation sets, and way you could achieve things that's not as painful as it was in the past, then I'll say bravo on them. They've improved since the last time. Even though Ubisoft is known to be a company that's is greedy and probably, you know, I don't know if the same type of people work there, but before, like, a lot of streamers, a lot of people say the same thing. But then again, sometimes they make some good games. So they have more shitty games than they do good games. And when I mean they have more shitty games than they do good games, that a lot of their good games turn out to be greedy pieces of shits. But they're good games, you know. So they're not really good if they turn out to be greedy pieces of shit games. It's just you just ruin everything. Um, yeah, but most of their games turn out to be good, but at the same time they turn out to be shitty because there are always bugs or there are always some type of issue. Whatever it is when it comes to Ubisoft is the lowest common denominator, man. You really, I think they take a very small route when it comes to solving issues. And I don't think too much has changed since then, but I could be wrong. So let me check this out. Keep the volume at 5. Now I missed the event. Apparently, there was an event, which makes sense because each season there's a new event. So once the event is over, the next one won't start until um, I guess you could say the following month. Like Halloween is coming up, so they'll probably have a Halloween event that falls into that season. Whereas September, October, and November considers the fall months. I doubt they'll have a Thanksgiving event. It'll probably just be an October to Thanksgiving event, a Halloween type event, or they might have a Thanksgiving event popping up in November. Whichever it is every 3 months, every season, they have a new event. And for this case, I probably missed the summer event, which is obvious. And if they did have an event that was posted up in September, I probably missed that one too. So who knows? Maybe they'll have an October event coming up. But I think maybe there wasn't a September event at all, or if it was probably something very small. But every month they try to set up a very mini event, and then once every 3 seasons they have like a large event, like for a specific season. Like Christmas they have some Christmas event, Halloween they have a Halloween event, and every now and again they have like a mini event that pops up every now and again. But I think around Halloween time to November time there might be another one. But for right now I missed that one. So we'll do a breach, and what I'll do is since it's been a while. Actually, not even a breach. Let me cancel that out. Since it's been a while, I think I'll do a battle, a Dominion versus AI battle. Very high activity. Everything seems to look the same as before. Nothing much has changed from 3 years ago. or 2 years ago. And I'm gonna select a character. Well, I can select the character until the mission starts. I'll cut my mic from here and then thereafter move forward. So it's been a hot minute, a real hot minute since I've actually played this game. So I'm probably gonna be completely garbage because I've never used Warmonger before. This is my first time trying her out. So she's on the side of the knights. So I'm gonna try to use the knight's abilities with relation to her character, but she have probably different move sets, totally different from that.
You lost Zone B. You captured Zone B. You lost Zone A. You captured Zone A. capture Zone A. You captured Zone C. You lost Zone C. You captured Zone C. You lost Zone A. You captured Zone A. You lost Zone C. You captured Zone C. You lost Zone A. You lost Zone C. You captured Zone A. You captured Zone C. You lost Zone A. You captured Zone A. Enemy team is breaking. The enemy rally. Enemy team is breaking. You captured Zone A.
You were born to lose.
Victory!
So what I'll do is I'll play this probably 2 more times. Then I'll go into practice and then I'll take on a breach. Because a breach, the enemies are a little bit smarter. Here the boss aren't that smart. So I'll probably do 1 training session and then do a breach.
You captured Zone B. You captured Zone A. You lost Zone A. You captured Zone A.
Yep, training is required. Never used this character before. Definitely need training.
Are a great help.
I mean, I love games like this, but you can't compare it to like a zombie game, man. There's something about killing zombies that's so satisfying.
Enemy team is breaking. The enemy rally. Enemy team is breaking. You lost Zone B. You captured Zone B. Victory!
Now, what I was going to do that mission like 2 more times, but then I realized all I'm doing is just spamming buttons, based on what I remember from the Knight character. I'm not actually doing things more tactical. So what I'll do is I'll try to learn her movesets, and from that point on forward, I'll I'll um I'll engage in breach. So from what I could see, from regards to the game, um, slight improvements of lighting improvements to the game, and color improvements to the game. Um, with regards to the armor as well as to the environment as well, color improvements to the environment too, as well as the characters themselves. That's not associated with the armor, but more with the fabric that they're wearing. The slight improvements, and that's probably also due to the engine. Slight improvements on the engine, upgrade of the engine, and I would say like the moveset is pretty much the same. Nothing has changed with regards to that. But like I thought from the beginning, when it comes to the environment and everything, those would be the things that would slightly improve, like the smoke, the drop shadows, the shining darkness, and the texture of how things are to make it look more realistic. Those things have improved a lot, as well as the music. And probably I'll say the impact of weapons probably sound about the same. Maybe some slight tweaks there, but nothing beyond those three things. Maybe a fourth thing, but I wouldn't say that there's really a fourth. It's more like a 3.5 at most. And I wouldn't call adding new characters to the mix an improvement. It's more like the same old, just different thing. So I'm gonna try out this character's movesets, the Warmonger's movesets, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'll probably cut my mic from there on forward, and then probably play Breach twice, and then I'll jump on Warframe and see how what's new in Warframe. Probably nothing new, to be honest with you. It's a Thursday, and their updates are usually Tuesday and Wednesdays. But we'll see. Maybe something does happen, but I highly doubt it. So I'll increase my volume and see how things play out from now on. And that's one of the main issues there when it comes to playing this game on controller. The reaction time on controller isn't fast enough. Like, even if it seems like you're going this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, by the time the indicator pops up, it's like you really have to slam on your controller. You have no idea what's going on. You really have to, like, slam down on the controller. because you really got to predict where the actual AI is going to actually move. Like you have it over here, sometimes you swim over here, but if you're not fast enough, you have no idea what's going on, no matter how fast you move your hands. And if it's controller, it's far more difficult than if you're using a PC. Because no matter how fast you press your button on the controller, the reaction time on your controller won't pick it up fast in time to counter-attack it. If you might be lucky to actually get off something. But the damn computer is so fast and so accurate for what it wants to do. By the time you press a move to counter their move, it's too late. Like you have to be spot on precision, extremely fast, in order to counter something. Like you really got to press your button, like mash like crazy your button. It's like basically like pressing any button all at once. And sometimes your brain don't think that way. It wants me to go left, I go left. It wants me to go right with an indicator, I go right with an indicator. But sometimes it goes so fast. By the time you come to a comprehension of when it comes to, okay, I got to do this. By the time you comprehend this and then do something, your button, the reaction time to what you see and what you press aren't fast enough to counter what the AI does. Because the AI just does it in an instant. Whereas you comprehend and then you do it yourself. And within that few seconds of instance, that's the difference. And that's why using controller is not really acceptable when it comes to playing this game. I don't give a damn why anyone says, well, I do good on controller. And that's just bullshit. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Even if your fingers is fast, there's no way. You will always, every now and again, you really have to like predict where something's coming from. And even when you move fast, extremely fast, you really have to like press your button like crazy just to figure out. Like say I pressed like 17 different buttons all at once just to see where it goes, just to get to that direction. Like the computer wants to see what you are going to do at the same time. And by the time you're trying to do something at the same time, see, and when it's really, really, really difficult. So I won't even waste my time trying to comprehend and trying to understand the logic of this game. Because unlike other games, like any other games you play, there's a time period between an enemy's attack and an enemy's execution. And the people who made this game didn't consider the fact that, okay, we are not machines, so we can't do an attack instantaneously like the AI can. We have to mash our buttons on our controller so rapidly that you might actually damage your controller in this game. This is like a Street Fighter or Tekken game. Yeah, this is like a button mashing game. So if you're not into button mashing, this is not the type of game for you. The best thing is do if you're coming to a situation where you figure you gotta button mash, you gotta counter the moment they do a strike and do your own thing. But no matter what you do, see, I was pressing left. Because what the AI does, it does various combinations all at the same time, try to counterattack your abilities. And so the only way to actually not get hit is to do enough combinations, then rest, back up, then move forward. Like if you're trying to calculate where the AI is going to go, the damn AI of the computer is much faster when it comes to the movement and execution of its abilities than you are. That's just simply how it is. Like because it's doing stuff instantaneously, and then for some godly reason, it knows that what next move you're going to do even before you do it. Like, it's specifically tailored to design to calculate things within an instance, and that's not how a human brain goes. It can't calculate everything within an instance to counteract it. And you can say that's a challenge, but at the same time, that's not really a good setup for gameplay. Like, see, she blocked me, and then I put my actually button was right over here. My actually left stick was right over here the whole time, like this. But yes, she still hit me, even though this was all the way over here. Because by the time I put this over here, the AI had already executed his move, even though this was clearly over here before the attack even connected. So that's the bullshit that you have to deal with when it comes to this game. So if it does this move, even though your parry or your block is already up there and you see it up there, it will connect first before you actually get to actually block it, because that's how the game is set. Whoever attacks first gets the hit off first. Whoever blocks first gets the block first. So it doesn't matter if the moment they do that attack and you go for it to counter that attack, the moment they do that attack, they get the hit off regardless if you put it in that instance, because in that instance it attacked first before you did. So even if it has to be like your block and your counter attack has to be in sync with the AI's block and counter attack in order to actually block, in order to actually counter attack. That means your button mashing will have to be ridiculous in order to actually do that, and that's the problem with this game. That's the issue of this game. See, the moment I went for a forward attack, it already countered using a fast attack in order to do a forward attack. So it doesn't matter what you do. See, like, I was going for a forward charge. So what I'm going to do is, see, the red indicator states where the enemies is going to attack from by when it glows up. But if you put your indicator to counter that, the moment that pops up, it should block. However, that's not the case. Unless it's automatically in the position for which the enemy is going to attack it, it's going to block. But if it's, let's say, here, and the moment that red pops up, you have to instantaneously be at that exact moment. The moment that red pops up, you're in the red, but the moment it pops up. So that's how fast you have to be. That's the bullshit about the setup of this game and the people who made it. That see, my hand was at the whole time there, the whole time to counter at that block. The whole time. You see, the whole time. The thing is, even if your attack, your block attack, whether it's up, down, left, right, if you press any button, what is in that section, it won't stay to the block. They will actually allow the AI to hit you because you press a button while it's over here, during this block. So it won't go for the obvious one first. It will go for the next attack that you perform even before it goes out of here. So it's like complete stupidity. And like, it makes no fucking sense. The moment you do attack, even like let's say you do a slide attack, but your block is over here. You're just sliding, but your block is over here. Let's say it goes for a block. You're sliding. Let's say it goes for an attack on the side. Not like that side over here. Like if you go, say he tries to hit you from the side, from the left side, while you're over here. If you move while it does a slide from attack from the side, then it should automatically block that because your hand is guarding from the left. But if you're moving while you do that, you see it. Yeah, it happened that time because it was already to the left. It's very finicky, this game. It's very finicky. It doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Like you really gotta wait for what your enemy is about to do. Like like say I go for an overhead and then I go for a counter block or I go for a strike. Then you gotta wait to see what the AI is going to do and then you gotta do it. But it has to be so fast. And that's one of the major issues. It has to be almost instantaneous. And that's something that they never worked on or they never tried to fix or they just didn't care. But it makes no sense to me. Like human beings aren't robots. You can't move that fast. You're not that instantaneous. The moment the red pops up, boom, you have to automatically be blocking at that time. If you're at the top, left, right, or even in the center, there's no way you could get to the top, left, right at the time in which that red pops up. There's no way. Unless you actually press your button so hard and so fast that you actually would probably damage your controller and you have to continuously buy a controller. These are specific button mashing games. And if you love button mashing games, then that's great for you. If you're not that type of person willing to destroy your controller, then that's completely up to you. I believe the solution to a system like this is to do your strike, fall backwards. Don't wait for the enemy, but don't do a strike directly because obviously the enemy is going to know your actually move set the moment you do a strike. But go for an attack, fall backwards. Now, don't be the first one to do attack. Wait for them to do attack, counter that attack, fall backwards, then go for an attack, but don't do an attack, fall backwards, let them do an attack. That's the only solution I can get for something because there's no way you're going to read an AI's movement in sync completely. You will always more than likely because a machine is a machine. It does things on a calculation point of view. On everything is calculated. This attack, this counter, this down. It's very mechanical, very systematic. People don't work like that. So unless you're into really rocking your brains and mashing your buttons, this is not that type of game for you. It's challenging, yes, but it's more ridiculous in how things are actually set up to counter or to strike. Um, it's not like a Bloodbourne. You understand the mechanics. You get a chance to hit, enemy gets a chance to hit. If you don't time things correctly, you get hit. This is more like you have to be button mash on the instantaneous. There's no actually concentration. It's more like it's evaluating your move set and then countering. It's not doing its own thing freely. It's evaluating your move set and then countering. And in some ways that's a good challenge, but in other ways then that's bullshit because there's no way you can move that fast to understand every single thing that it's going to throw at you. You really have to be rocking your brains out to actually figure that out. And that takes away from the enjoyment of the game. So that's one of the issues with regards to that. That's probably one of the major issues. That when you're using a controller, it's so slow and that would take so long time to actually execute something that you button mash your controller for. Whereas in PC, but you probably do it almost instantaneously. So when people say they have no problem with controller, I know it's complete bullshit. I know it's complete bullshit. Yes, you get off, I'll say 50, maybe 60% of your attack without getting hits when the AI that's advancing pretty hard. But most of the times, your health would probably already be by half if the AI is pretty high up. Um, yeah, but so I don't buy into any of that bullshit. So what I'll do is, what I'll do is, I wonder what. So you see, when I go for a heavy overhead, then I fend, then I try to do a block. If I'm far away, you see, you really have to. Don't allow for an opening. Allow them to attack first. Or find, if you cannot find an attack that works. And then continue it with a combo. Or figure the moment they're about to attack, you attack. See, that seems to be the best thing that you could do in a situation like this, is to, the moment they're about to do an attack, you attack them. And the moment you finish your attack, you know they're about to attack you again. So you will press a counter to that attack. But sometimes the counter doesn't work, so you sometimes have to slide out the way. So, or roll backwards. But sometimes the game, you see, that's the thing, the game doesn't allow you to roll back. Like, tell me something. Since when is spinning around faster than one overhead chop like this? You see that? This character spin around and do that attack. That's faster than an overhead chop like this. Since when is spinning around faster than an overhead chop like this? This is just one swing. This person spin around to the left to actually do that attack. Or this AI spins around. You see that? You go for a huge swing from the side with his hand. Whereas this goes for one swing downwards. I guess it's far more difficult to do one swing downwards. Well, maybe okay, maybe that's faster. Let's see what happens. Nope, their one was faster than mine. See that? It really doesn't matter where you press. It's like the AI cheats. It follows up on what makes sense. See, I press the red to the side. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like, you have to be like in an instantaneous, almost instant, like a machine yourself in order to counter the AI's counterattacks. And that's not fun at all. That's not enjoyable. And that's one of the things I hated about the game, and I never really liked, and always took me out of the enjoyment factor. The timing for what you do attacks to a timing of the enemy's attacks, it seemed to be too spot on, too on the nose, and would allow you to probably break your controller more than anything because you're pressing so hard down on the button, you probably damage it and probably have to buy a new one. Now, the game is not designed to break your controller or to damage your controller. The game is designed for you for difficulty within the game itself. Now, your controller is something outside the game itself. So, unless you have like a battle controller that's incredibly good for pressure, you're pretty much screwing yourself over. So I would say from that factor, this part of the game is weak. In fact, incredibly weak. The time period between counterattacks and attacks are too spot on the nose for the AI itself. Maybe for a person it'll be a different story. Or for the AI is too calculated and too accurate. It makes no sense. It seems like if this is supposed to be a simulation of fighting another character, another player, then that's okay. That's understandable because you're playing humans. But it's with regards to an AI that you're fighting a simulated AI that's going to do things on the nose 90% of the time. So that will always be accurate. So that's not that good. So from there on, I'm going to continue training mode. But I think actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to quit training and I'll look at the move set for this character to counter any move sets. Heroic tactics. So I'm going to choose heroic tactics. I'm going to see how heroic tactics go. Because based on what I see here, it doesn't matter how good I am. If the bot is doing things from a calculated point of view, you do an overhead, it goes for a side. You do a block attack, it goes for a counter. If it's actually doing things within a split second or a microsecond of how you do things, then it will always get an upper hand over you because it doesn't have to keep pressing down on a button like you do to get the attack. You just have to, okay, so this person did this, boom, I counter with this. This person do this, boom, I counter with this execution from a code. This person does this, I counter with this from this. This person does this, I do this attack. It doesn't have to mash down on the button multiple times. It does it one time within an instant microsecond of the window for which the red light or the red indicator shows. So that's the bad part about this game. Is AI is set at an unfair advantage because it's not calculating things. It's calculating things way too accurately rather than balanced towards the actual people who are playing. Like the AI they have set in the game is like set that it doesn't understand that it's playing against a non-AI person. Like the AI in this game believes that it's playing against another AI, and that's the bad thing about this game. When you're fighting against AI bots, whether it's in Breach or anything, it's down to a certain level to allow for the difficulty of that certain level. So if you dial to a certain level, let's say someone has a higher prestige, the enemies automatically are dialed up in order for certain individuals to have countered that person with certain difficulties, and it's tweaked to that specific type of set with regards to the AI itself, which is not good, but it's not great, but it's not bad at the same time. like the mechanics for the AI is too spot on or too on the nose and does not work for controllers that great. In fact, it works bad for controllers. So why most people play on PCs, because controllers are janky and they do not execute your moves when you want them to. So for this one is 1, 2. Now I already pressed a move like this move like several times. I did this. Look how long it takes for it to actually get to success. I counted a full 3 seconds after I executed this attack. 1, 2. Watch, I'll show you again. As I say it, my fingers will press the button. R1, R1, R2. Now the time period between I say R1, R2, she was still moving. She did not stop. R1, R1, R2. Look, that's a full 2 seconds before she executed that overhead attack. So it's moving janky, not according to how fast you are moving. So when I press R1, that works. R1. The moment I press down on the R1 button, it's supposed to do an attack. But they leave it to a lag because it has to seem like it's realistic. So me pressing down on R1 doesn't mean they're actually automatically going to do the attack. Me pressing R1 means that they're going to do a swing and then the attack is going to hit. So even though I do R1, R1, R2, it's R1, R1, R2. Wait, let me see. R1, R1, R2. Is basically what's happening here is that the AI is set up that R1, R1, R2 is actually R1, R1, R2 2 times. Whether you press R1, R1, and then R2, the moment you press the first R1 isn't a connection. The first R1, which is an attack move, is you leave your hand up in the air and then you swing down. It's not an actual attack. That's an attack. The moment it impacted, that's an attack. On impact, that's an attack. The moment the hand goes in the air and the sword goes backward, that is not an attack. That's just a gear up for an attack and then a swing toward the attack itself. And the game leaves that leeway to make it realistic because no one actually automatically impacts on attack. Well, here's the thing. The AI doesn't know that. The AI functions like, okay, it's an attack. Or the window for the AI is so instantaneous. The moment I press R1, its R1 is more faster than my R1. Like, I press R1. R1. Or let's say I'm a robot and this character that I'm using is me. Best explanation for it. I'm the robot and this character is me. R1. I already did an attack on my character before me, myself, the character itself, the robot character here, did their attack. So it already did the R1, if that makes any sense. When the AI give an executed command code, R1, the moment you, the human being, press R1, or R2, this is what okay, I'll talk in robot voice. R2, and that's me going R2, and this is the robot R2, and that's me trying to do R2. So the moment the robot says R2, it already executed R2 while I'm doing R2. So its attack will always be ahead of mine because it's doing a command based on voice recognition, and the command that's executed by the AI is in sync with the voice itself. It doesn't follow through. Its R2 is instantaneous. It doesn't, okay, I'm going to do R2, now I'm doing R2. You know, like when you make a human decision. R1, okay, I want to follow up with a block. It actually knows what it's going to do. For instance, R1 block. Let's say it wants to do that. I'm going to pretend like I'm a computer again. I'm going to do R1 and block. So the character is doing this, I'm going to do R and block. So I'm a robot now. R and block. It already knows what it's going to do based on your movement, and it won't think about it twice. It won't switch. Everything you do from I'm about to do heavy, it would counter with a side, or it would counter with a block. So it reads the exact move you do and then do it. And the window of when it does it is that same window from you pulling your hand back and then doing the swing. The window of it knowing what you're about to do is that your hand going back, not the impact. So they made the AI in a way to the hand back about to do the attack. That's the time it's about to do its counter, like say from the side or something like that. Because they allow the AI to have that little extra advantage over you, which in all truth that's not fair at all. Because then that's not how the game is set. It's set towards the AI having a significant advantage over you, and for you to always fail because they have that significant extra 1 second window over you. So you really, really have to play this from a more strategic point of view, not from the point of view of the AI. If you're going to go into an attack, you're going to go into attack and then you cancel the attack. The moment you go into attack, cancel attack, you got to fall back or something because it's going to do. And you can't do this because sometimes it will go straight for a block and knock you while you're in the roll form. How that possible of someone hitting you into a block? Like I'm about to do a block on this character right now. Like this. You see that? Let's say, for instance, this AI rolled backwards, and I did this. It would be stunned just like that. That little shield will pop up just like that. Why the hell the character would automatically go into I got hit with a block while it's in roll form makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. If you were to block a character while they're rolling, the character would probably topple over. It won't instantaneously be blocked, leaving you to an attack thereafter. It makes no goddamn sense. So that's that. So now I'm not going to say anything else about this. I'm going to try to learn these moveset and then go on to Breach.
What a beautiful day. Well, I am bored. Should I send my second to fight in your stead?
And that's another issue when it comes to this game. If you don't follow the rules when it comes to this game, let's say you press every one of these buttons correctly for the prey, claw, fent to guard break. If you press every single one of them, it still won't come out. You know why? Because you have to wait. You have to wait till it does the attack, and then you have to follow with the next one, square, and then you have to follow with the next one, and then you have to follow with the next one, and then you have to follow with the next one, and then you have to follow with the last one. Alright. It's not like a Street Fighter game where you press all buttons. As long as your controller can read that you press all buttons, you do the move. No, this bullshit it's telling you gotta wait. So I just pressed R1, square, circle, square, side, side, and then above head. It still didn't do it. Okay, I'll do it again. R1, square, circle, square, side, side, above head. I did left to the side, I did right to the side, and then I did R2. So I'm going to do it again. I'll keep it in this form. In fact, I'll just keep it over here. I'll do R1, square, circle, square, side, side. Well, maybe I'm supposed to keep it from the top. Alright, I'll do it again. R1, square, circle, square, side, side. And see? The moment I went to the block on the character, after I did the side slide, and then I went for the R2, that's where it messed up. So I'm going to do it again. R1, square, circle, square. So I really have to wait for the goddamn character to actually do the move. So R1, square, circle, square. And if you move too slow, it says it's fail. It doesn't do it at all. So you have to really behave like you're a goddamn robot yourself. Because if you move too fast to get the move off, you fail. If you move too slow to get the move off, you fail. So you gotta behave like you're also an AI yourself in order to do things accurately. And that's the bullshit of this game. Another bullshit of this game that I can't stand. If you have a move set, let the people do the goddamn move set. Don't let them follow the specific rules of you got to do it like a machine so the AI could understand that you're doing it like a machine so it could set up its counterattack for your abilities accurately. Let the human being freely execute the moves based on the button mashes accurately, and then the moves is done. Don't wait for the character yourself while they're in the animation to do it. As long as the move is set up and executed, that's how it's supposed to be. But that's not how it is, and that's another issue about For Honor. Another issue that you have to accurately press buttons for moves to accurately flow. You think that's going to happen that way in mission? Hell no. In the heat of battle, you're having AIs from the side, grunt AIs, and then you have the big boys, the vanguards coming at you, and while you're desperately trying to fight for your life, you're not going to be pressing buttons accurately. You might be able to get off some or half of your move, but you're not going to get off the full thing accurately unless you memorize it so good that you yourself have now become a robot of that character. Now, who the hell is going to do that casual, and I mean casual, is going to purchase the game and play like that? No, I believe this game is made for die-hard people, not for casuals, or people who want to do nothing but invest in learning this thing and mastering this thing. This is not made for casuals. This is a button mashing game that doesn't follow button mashing rules, follow an AI version of button mashing rules. So if I press R1 square, circle, square, try it again. R1 square, circle, square. Try that again. R1 square, circle, square. Too slow. R1 square, circle, square, side to side. I did side to side, and then I went for an above. But here's the thing, I might have done an extra side to the left, or I went too fast, and I did another extra side to the right, and then I went for the R2. So that little extra move that I did screwed up the whole calculated combo. That little extra move. because the machine is so accurate. You have to do it exactly the same. So R1 square, circle, square, and you see, and you even if you're trying to do it accurate, if you move too slow, you fail. So you gotta go R1 square, circle, square, left, right, and overhead. Left, right, and overhead. But here's the thing: the moment I did square and I went for look, the moment I go for a block, if you look at the center line where I'm going up left, right, it completely disappears. It completely went to transparent. You see, it's transparent. So I have to wait. I have to wait after I do this to then do this and this. So he has to knock me off for it to return to do this and then do the overhead. So I'm going to do this, square, circle, square. Try it again. R1, square, circle, square. See, too slow. R1, square, circle, square. It failed because I went too fast again. R1, square, circle, square. Push off. But here's the thing. I didn't press it this time. I didn't press left or right this time. And it failed because I did not press left or right. So the moment you press this square one, press square for the block, it's like you have to press this at the same time you press the square for the block. So fast. I mean like really, really fast that it bypasses the transparency of the block. Like if I do this and then I go da 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 da, I wouldn't be able to see that I did it because I'm doing it in the transparency of the block itself. So I'm going to try it again. R1 square, circle, square, blah 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 blah. Let's try that again. R1 square, circle, square, blah 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 blah. See? Almost got it. R1 square, circle, square, blah 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 blah. See, while he was in block, I was supposed to go for an overhead chop, but he recovered fast enough. It's like it's completely bananas. One square, circle, square. Completely bananas, ridiculous. One square, circle, square. Like what the fuck, man? One square, circle, square, da 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 da. Like he recovers so fast by the time you do the R2, which takes for fucking ever. Like the moment you hit it, you have to like literally have to do the R2. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. The moment you do the square, it's like you have to automatically do the R2. But the thing is, the game says you have to go left and the right side. So you not only have to do that movement, you then have to do the R2. He was already recovered by the time you do this and this to block the R2. Makes no fucking sense, man. R1 square, circle, square, side, side, overhead. See, look, I did it. I did the whole combo. But it was just, it takes too fucking long for the goddamn command to get out. So R1 square, circle, square, side, side, overhead. Look how long that takes. Fuck this, man. Fuck this. I'm gonna try a different combo. They really, really need to tweak this game. I mean, it's like this game was made for PC. It wasn't made for controller. It makes no fucking sense. You would literally, your hands will literally be bleeding to get out a combo. And that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case in any game. I mean, I don't want to damage my controller, damaging the buttons of the controller, trying to get off a combo because they didn't set up their goddamn game right. So, it's R1 square. Wait, okay, so this one is more simpler. This is R1 square, R1 again. See, that works. So R1 square, R1, R1. Was I supposed to? Okay, I was supposed to hold on it. R1 square. Alright, I wasn't supposed to let it go. I was supposed to hold it for a specific time. So R1, hold. So why does he go for a slash hit? It doesn't say anything about blocking the slash hit. See, I did this, I did this. I did exactly what the goddamn game says. 2 R1s. 1 R1, one's hold and square, 1 R1. The logic of this game is kind of shitty. But you know what? Let me go into something. Let's see something here. Movesets. Tactical, less, easy, medium, medium. Let me read what square plus next to it means. It should describe what square plus next to it means. Okay, so square plus a plus signs. Let's see what's plus sign. Okay, successful. The square with a plus means successful. The mark attack must hit. So I must hit with the square. It says nothing about holding it down forever. So if I... Oh, I see. Alright, I don't get that one. Because if he blocks the R1... See, because I did it. Maybe... Because here's another thing about the game. Sometimes if you're on this one, highlighted, you're not on this one. They didn't even bother to fix the thing. Sometimes you could be on a totally different one, and you're still trying to do a totally different one. And then the moment you have to go out, come back in and switch in order to see if it works. So let's try it again. On one. No, it's the same one. What the hell? I did that already. So why is it successful all of a sudden now? 1, 2. This waiting shit gets on my nerves. R1, square, R1, R1. Alright, R1 square, R1, R1. R1 square, R1, R1. Yep, I went too fast. I have to wait for the goddamn character to move her arms. So R1, square, R1, R1. See? I gotta wait till the character pull its arm back. And a good indication that I've learned online or from what I've seen of other people, the moment the sword glows, that's when the time to strike. So R1, square, R1, R1. But how you know the sword has glowed? I don't see any glowing goddamn sword here. See? In this training simulation, it doesn't show you. So you won't be able to see it. It's just the sword moving. So you have to actually... I mean, it's a good indication to pay attention to when your sword is about to do a special move or an attack. And you can see what it's about to do. But in training session, it won't show that. In mission, maybe. It's basically, let's say they took it off. Took it out completely. You would literally have to know how to do it yourself and wait for the arm to go up before that they do the attack downwards. So R1 square, R1, and there. Just wait. I have to wait. Complete bullshit. Why can't I just put R1 square, R1, and R1? See, I pressed the whole goddamn thing. This wait shit ain't my deal. So what I'll do is I'll do other moves. See, I knew there was a reason why I didn't like For Honor that well. Is because that it doesn't feel like you're actually playing a challenging game. It feels like you're playing a challenging mechanical game set to not make you succeed, set to make you fail. Whereas in any other game, it's challenging and it doesn't feel like it's fair sometimes. But if you learn down the moveset, you could execute it properly. Whereas if you learn down the moveset, you're basically like a robot. You have to do things exactly the way the computer or the AI wants you to do it, which isn't good. R1 square, R1, R1. If it's too late, it's fail. If it's too early, it's fail. R1 square, R1, R1, R1. Look at that shit. Alright, let's go for another one. So an easy one. R1 square, R1. R1 square, R1. R1 square, R1, R1, R1. Of course, that one fails. It's a different moveset. Alright, so let's go for a hard one. And after this hard one, I'm just going to do Breach. The whole point of me is doing this is to evaluate this game. Has anything improved since the last time? Not many, except for colors, except for cloth, except for surrounding, except for the engine being a little cleaner. The mechanics of movements and sets of how the executability and stuff, they didn't even bother to change that shit from like 2 or 3 years ago. They say, fuck it, that's the way it is, that's the way you gotta do it, like it. So that's the reason why a certain amount of people play For Honor, but nobody else plays it that much anymore. So let's see. Move to R1. R1 square circle. Okay, let's see. Left with the R1. I mean left with the X. Square circle. Square circle. Left and X. So all I gotta do is keep walking to the side, moving with the L button. And as long as I press X square circle and then X and overhead, I should be fine. So X square circle. Okay, so X square circle. But that doesn't work. It's X square. Oh, I see. So it's not walk to the side. It's so it's left move left and X at the same time, like this. X squares. No, it is that way. Okay. X square circle. I mean, I guess it could be forward. Forward left. X square circle X. So it's like a charge forward. It's like a running move. Square and circle. It's like a fence. Strange. It's weird. X square circle X. It's like this thing really wasn't made for controllers. One square circle, move forward. So square. Okay, so I got to do it like a machine. That's how you got to do it, like a machine. Forward X square circle, forward X, and then there, like a machine. Forward and X square circle. You got to be extremely fast. I guess this one is not that bad. Forward X circle. Like you see, this one, even though it's have just as much combo as the other one, allows you more freedom. If you press all the buttons, regardless of whether you time it correctly, you execute the abilities. So I'm not timing anything here. I'm just pressing them and yet execute them. But the other ones, you have to be accurately on point, otherwise you fail whether you go slow, fast, or whether you do it near accurate. This one, you just forward, X, circle, forward. You see? The fucking mechanics of this game doesn't make any goddamn sense. For some, it works. For others, it does not. I mean, does the game allow you freedom to execute a move, or the game allow you mechanics to do the move? If it allow you mechanics to do the move, it must follow that logic for every single move. If it doesn't follow that logic for every single move, then it's bullshit. It's not set up correctly. This one I just did. This circle first. There. Well, wait a minute. That's a totally different one. That one I just did, which I just did a successful attack, which is this one right here. This. But sometimes you jump backwards and stuff. Well, see, this one, I don't even need to worry about following it specifically per, like, accurately. Cross the I's, dot T's. I just press the button as a state that I'm supposed to do. The other one, you will take you forever to fucking do that one. It makes no goddamn sense. This one, it asks for the same type of thing, except this time you do R1, a block, and another R1. So that. Okay, so that. It's kind of difficult. Alright, so let me try it again. That. No, went backwards. That. Went backwards. That. R1 square. Okay, R1 square. Yeah, that. And my fingers always go towards square. Went straight past the R1. Alright, so forward, that, forward. Try that again. Forward, that, forward. Like in Mission, you really think that the game was going to give you time to think about all this bullshit? I mean, really? It's going to act accurately with its execution, whether you get it down or not. It makes no goddamn sense, man. So X square, X. Okay, yeah. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Alright. X square. Yep, and I did the last R1 and it still didn't do it. Jesus. It's not that bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I mean, it's long, but it's not that bad as the other one that seemed to be, you have to be accurate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2. Yep. It's like everything has to be so exact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Like people aren't exact, man. We're like, what the fuck? Forward, X, square, exact, forward, X, square, and X. Alright. Forward to X, square, circle, forward to X. Nope. Alright, forward to X, square, circle, forward to X. No. Forward X, square, circle, forward to X, overhead. Crazy, man. Forward X, square, forward X. Forward X, square, forward X. Jesus, man. Forward X, square, forward X. X, square, and X. Jesus, man. Forward X, square, forward X. Pressed all of it. Is fucking waiting for the attack thing gets on my goddamn nerves. I press the whole thing. It's just like the AI or the setup for your mechanics cannot even move as fast as your fingers can move. it has to wait for you to do an attack. But when it comes to the AI stuff, it does it on point. Like, no matter how fast your fingers click on something, it will take a while for your character to do it. So you have to wait till your character is about to do a swing and stuff. It's really is annoying as fuck. Like, see, and if you take too long to do it, then it fucks it up. So forward, X, square, forward, X, forward. Jesus, man. Forward, X, square, forward, X, square, forward. And sometimes if your hand's getting sweaty and it's starting to slip, you can feel it. Forward, X, squares, forward, X. There's no way you can remember that shit, man, in the back of your head, accurately. This is like for people who have memory of a goddamn machine, man. Alright, so I'm done with this, man. I'm gonna try to see if I can do some of them moves. I'm gonna do this move. I'm gonna do this move. I'm gonna do this move. Then I'm gonna do my combo with my own move. One. I wonder if I do my own thing, what will happen. 1, 2, forward, dash. So I'm gonna try to combo it up and see what happens. X, charge forward first, circle. Nope. Alright, what about charge forward? Forward, X, circle, X, just, and then. Nah. Yep, and that's another thing with regards to this game that sucks. If you want to switch things up and change things up, you have to wait till the attack is over and then continue with the new attack. You cannot add your own combination in between one of these combos. Like, say, I jump forward, X, circle. I cannot do like a double R1 and R2 at simultaneously, which does this attack. I cannot cancel out what is set within the game as a combination and create my own combinations in between. I have to follow a set path. So that's not that great. So that's all I have to say with regards to this game. There are 3 things that have improved since 2 years ago. That is the surrounding environment. The lighting on the armor has improved greatly. And the cloth, the cloth, the cloth kind of seemed the same, but slight details towards the cloth has improved as well. So vegetation, environmental effects, and lighting has improved slightly since 2 years ago. Well, increased greatly since 2 years ago. But that's about it. The unique type of armor sets and stuff, that's the standard that they do with the company. They always bring out new different armors. So there's nothing special about that whatsoever. So I'm out of here. I've seen everything I need to see. It's pretty much the same old, same old. Nothing, no improvements towards attack movements or setup movements or set mechanics. So I'll cut my mic. I'll just play a breach, and then after that, I'll go into Warframe. So what I'll do is I'm going to test all the year 3 characters. Since I never played the year 3 characters, I'm going to test all their abilities and see how they do, and then I'm going to test the year 5 character, which is this guy here, and see how they do, which is more smoother for me to play with, and which is more easier. I wouldn't say easier, but more understandable towards my comprehension of how I could execute the moves. If it's janky, if it doesn't make any logical sense towards how I play fighting games, I'll be turned off by it. Or how I play shooting games, I'll be turned off by it. Certain things make sense when it comes to gaming. You just can't throw random squares that don't and X's and stuff together and say this is a combo, and then make them do the combo. It has to make logical sense, otherwise it's a fuck up. So I'll start with this character in the breach. I might die a couple of times because her moveset is kind of off. I think one of the main things when you're having a character you have to play with, you have to pick a character that has almost or faster than the moveset, equal to the moveset you're about to do, or almost as fast as the moveset you're about to do. The Warmonger is slow striker. So by the time you're about to do a move, it takes away probably a full second for it to actually do the strike. So you have to really know what you're doing when you're using the Warmonger, because she's slow. She's not fast like an Orochi. And I believe she's just slower than the Kensen, because I believe the Kensen is much faster than her. So that's that. But we'll see how that goes. So we'll see this, and we could customize this character and see if we get something out of it. Doubt it. But I kind of like this. I like this character's design. That's pretty much about the only thing I like about this character. The move set is between. It's kind of like good slash bad. You know, her moveset are good slash bad. So I say all around, she's a good slash bad build. You know, her moveset is good slash bad. So she's about an average when it comes to character understanding. But that's from moveset. That's not from perks. That's just from moveset. So let's see what else. What else we got here? Speed. She obviously needs speed, but that's for running. Next attack, inflict corruption power. I kind of like that. All right. These are all blocked off. This one wasn't blocked off. Unlock all right away. I guess I could do that, but it doesn't take long to unlock that. Why is this thing popping up here? Is there something? Makes no goddamn sense. It's like indicated, give you a warning that something is up. What is it, Battle Pass? Purchase Battle Pass. I ain't purchasing jack shit. The fact that this game is still asking for a lot of money, even though not a lot of people play it anymore, is kind of funny and ridiculous at the same time. Salvage. How much salvage do I have? Well, I have one of these. Maybe I'll get something good from it. Doubt it, but whatever. Let's see what we have here. Oh. Better. takes away from this though. Armor. Better. And elite. Okay, so this is from, I guess this is from purchased character from what I purchased. That's why I don't have to spend the 7,000. I really wanted this character. I really wanted her more than anything because she was the main antagonist for season 1. The a-hole of the campaign story that wanted people to fight and kill. So I was desperate one day to actually hoping one day that they will actually make her a playable character, and now she is. So I'm very happy that I'm able to finally access her and access her skill sets, even though her skill sets are more average than anything. It's about average. About 2 of them are really good, and then the rest are about average. But that's fine by me. I have no problem with it. Let's see here. Symbol. Not really. Oh, that's what. Still one pattern. The best part of this game is customization. The best part of this game is customization. You will think that the actual gameplay and how you fight and everything is the best part. The best part of the goddamn game is the customization part. You customize your character. That's why I say this game is pretty much average at best. Because the best part shouldn't be customization. The best part should be gameplay. But these are my thoughts, my final thoughts, and only thoughts with regards to this game. Color combinations, armor sets, armor types, the I guess the metal or the replication of metal is accurate. I can't zoom in so I can't see, but the cleavage area towards the metal when it goes outwards is accurate to show that it's an actual woman and everything, and also from the back. Yet at the same time showing that it's armor that's set over her, not armor shaped like a woman's figure, but armor that's bulged outward to represent that of a woman. The movement of the armor janking back and forth as you turn is very accurate. The movement of the legs and everything against the actual cloth and everything is good. The design of the lighting flash upon the character outside from the right, the upper right, is good. The metal is nice. When you zoom closer to the light, or when you turn the character closer to the light, you see more of the character's face and everything on the model, on the design. It's more accurate and it makes more sense when it comes to light source, as well as the movement of the body. The chainmail looks good as well. The sword, design of the sword, the thickness of the sword, the anatomy of the sword, how it feels, how it looks, how it moves, how it's shaped, is accurate. The specific type of design they made for the character, make the character look intimidating, is also good. Not sure if back in the days, in the medieval age, the people were able to see out of a helmet with clogged up eyes, but then again, there were designs for helmets like that, due to the fact that some enemies, well, most enemies think the fastest way to kill their opponent if an opponent is covered from head to toe with armor, is straight towards into the face where the eyes is. Well, if you're able to not block an attack good enough, if you have something that shields the eyes just a little, be able to cancel that out completely. But at the same time, it blocks your peripheral vision, so the person wearing the helmet has to actually see or get used to seeing while wearing that helmet. So that was probably a bitch to wear back in the days. But it's pretty good. This armor set is pretty good. The design, the straps, the handle, the buckles. Let's see what else other than color, other than metal, other than the buckles, other than straps, other than the foliage, the movement of the head, the position of the body. It's very good. So when it comes to the design of the character, that's something that's good and it's done accurately when it comes to the cosmetics, and everything. Choosing the different type of color and cosmetics attachments you want towards the color character. That's also good. Lots of combinations of different colors they might want. So this is one of those games you have so many different designs, so many different patterns, color patterns, or design patterns to put on your armor that you never have to worry about patterns when it comes to this game. You will never be bored with patterns because there's so many of them. It's kind of ridiculous. Now, trait is something new. I've never seen trait before. But I guess trait is something that you're saying, oh, what ethnicity are you? Are you this person? Are you that person? Rather than say, rather than where it used to be, here over material, you choose the color of the character. Now, I guess they put it over here for the color of the individual itself. And they put materials, the color of the materials being the new thing now over here. Or they replaced the text or the wording or the coding for the word materials, which was probably color or trait. And then they moved and created a new window over here with 2 additional boxes. And then put it here. Why? I don't know why. I'm pretty sure they had this, they had the shoulders, and they had the chest. I don't think they had, yeah, they had the back too. So they had the 2 sides, the chest, the shoulders, and the back. They didn't have the trait here. This used to be over here in this corner where material is. And I believe material didn't exist whatsoever at all. It was just traits. But I don't think it was called traits. Outfits is still the same. Elite, mystical, reputations. And animation sets for them haven't changed that much either. It's still the same left to right selection windows, right, in each categories, each categories. And within each category you get to select different ones that fall in different rows based on the mystic types or illusionary types. And ornaments is pretty much the same. Variations of different ornaments that you could choose. So appearance hasn't changed that much except for that one thing. And the main windows, which is customization, salvage, view progression, or move sets, all these things are pretty much the same, as well as the window that states for the different heroes that you can select and the perks that come with the heroes. So that's pretty much the same as well. And of course the overall scheme with the game itself, the window here, it's a new overlay from the old one, to represent the different type of environment that the characters are in, or the type of season and situation that the world is facing right now. As for orders, multiplayer names and certain things are within the hub. That's pretty much the same. Warp. I don't believe I've ever seen Warp map before. I'm not sure if it was always there, but yeah, I believe it was always there. And Battle Pass wasn't something that was there before. But as they included Battle Pass, I think in 2019, or late 2019, maybe early 2019, that's when it became kind of a thing. Or maybe it was in 2020. No, it was 2019. And so everything's pretty much lined up about the same, and about the only thing that really has changed is just slight improvements to the obvious that have always been there, and maybe an inclusion of something, one or two things that are different from 2 years ago. So I don't know what the hell. I mean, they say they're doing with this game. I mean, we're in season 19 now of the 5th year of this game, and I don't know how long they're going to keep things looking pretty much standards from 2 years ago with slight improvements here and there. But I wouldn't say there's too much expectations for 2022 unless they do something so dramatically different and will bring people more into the game. I mean, I don't see anyone streaming this game except a few people. So we'll try Breach. And maybe Breach is a little different. Maybe they tweak Breach up or low. So we'll see how that goes. But to be completely honest with you, I think I might check out those other characters a different day. Because today was simply to check out the moveset, if they improved the moveset, to check out the game to see the overall game, if anything has improved since like 2 years ago. To check out if any additional factors towards the game have made the game slightly easier or simpler, or at least better understanding and adaptation towards PlayStation and controllers. And not much has changed since 2 years ago. Only a few things, and those few things are mainly due to the environmental art, the effects, and the sound improvements. Those three things mostly, and some light changes to lighting effects. So like 3.5 things have improved slightly, and not greatly. Like this seems like something that if Madden was made, like this is like a Madden from 2 years ago, then not much has changed except slight things. And that's For Honor in a nutshell. Um, Once I learn down the movesets of Warmonger better, I'll be able to do so. And for the other characters, I'll probably have to see I could do that some other time or on my own time. But I just need to go back to the game and see how things have been improved since 2 years ago, and I would say not much have been improved except maybe 3.5 things. So, is it a good game when it comes to melee and counter attacks? Train you how to block, interact fast to attacks within the game is probably one of the best ones. That you really have to get and learn how to do things accurately. But once you understand the mechanics of the game, it really boils down to whether you're willing to dedicate yourself to be annoyed and train yourself to know how to do certain things with the characters and certain actions within this world. But for me, there are tons of other games out there that are far superior to For Honor. Not when it comes to melee, but when it comes to interest and appeal. So I'll put this away for the side, and maybe tomorrow or sometime down the road this week, I'll pick it up again. I highly doubt I will be sometime down the road. Probably sometime this week, just so I can see how those characters are, because I just bought it. So it, either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, or sometime next week. But after I looked at those characters more accurately to see whether I'm more interested in using those characters, and if those characters make the game more fun and more engaging and willing to play more, then I would consider this to have been a far more improvement from when it was 2 years ago. Otherwise, it's still the same old, same old.